Good evening. Welcome to News Mongolia on MNB World. I am your host, Jugdur Rambold. And for our top stories for today. 2 Mongolian citizens evacuated from Khartoum, Sudan. Business Council of Mongolia organizes its monthly meeting. Regional teachers training on gender concepts held in Bayankhongor province. For other news, stay with us. Over 420 people have been killed, including 264 civilians and over 3,700 wounded in fighting between the Sudanese armed forces and the powerful paramilitary group known as the Rapid Support Forces. It was reported that 2 Mongolian citizens were stuck in the conflict zone. A UNICEF staff member and 1 member of the United Nations Interim Security Force for Abyei. On Monday, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Mongolia reported that these 2 Mongolian citizens were successfully evacuated from Khartoum by bus as part of an evacuation operation organized by the United Nations at around 9 a.m. local time on Sunday, around 3 p.m. in Ulaanbaatar. Their next stop is Port Sudan, located about 900 kilometers from Khartoum. They are expected to reach a safe destination on Monday. The Business Council of Mongolia organizes a monthly meeting to develop and promote economic and sector policy recommendations through engagement with its members, the government, and the wider public. Its April meeting was organized during House Expo 2023, where the latest government policies on the construction sector and research on the private housing market in Mongolia were presented.
The government's policy on fighting and mitigating climate change, boosting green development, and promoting sustainability includes an article on decreasing home heat loss by 40% in 2023. Meeting participants and industry players noted that foreign and domestic investors had expressed interest in this clause.
We are introducing the latest solutions for reducing home heat loss that are environmentally friendly. The EBRD and commercial banks are also introducing credit services and loan solutions that can fund green projects.
On Sunday, the Business Council of Mongolia organized private tours and showcases for investors and customers to visit construction sites and model homes to learn about projects of interest. An induction ceremony was also held for 7 new members of the Business Council of Mongolia. The Business Council of Mongolia advocates for economic freedom and property rights provided by the Constitution of Mongolia and works to protect and promote the lawful interests of its members for a fair, stable, and internationally competitive business environment.
This year, the National Committee on Gender Equality plans to organize basic gender concept training and workshops for teachers in Khartoum, Bayankhongor, Darnod, and Ost provinces.
105 teachers will attend the local training. They'll get knowledge and information on how to apply the concept of gender equality to a gender-sensitive legal policy environment and organizational policy planning, implementation, monitoring, and analysis. The training methodology is based on real cases and best practices.
We are creating systematic content and organizing training for civil servants in states. This training has not been held for the first time. It's been implemented since 2020. Before that, in 2019, we are preparing to define and elaborate on the course content. Today, 260 trainers have been trained, 75 of whom were trained locally. This training is a development issue, and that's why we must contribute to developing and elaborating on societal policies without leaving anyone out, and we must benefit from it. As a result, when women and families will develop and live happily in Mongolia.
The Bayankhongor Province Subcommittee on Gender Issues has 25 members and works in 20 zones. There are more than 5,400 public servants in the province. 73% of them are per woman, and the gender ratio of the management level is 50-50.
Here comes the currency exchange rates provided by the Central Bank of Mongolia. Please take a look at current affairs of Mongolia.
On the occasion of Earth Day marked on April 22nd, Mongolian rock group The Who released a new version of their song Mother Nature and announced that they plan to plant 12,000 Siberian elm trees in southeastern Mongolia. The Who says Mother Nature shares a profound message about environmental protection. The new version of the song will be included in the deluxe version of their Rumble of Thunder album, which will be released on June 30th. The band's statement on the tree planting campaign highlights that everyone on Earth is connected to Mother Nature. Their song talks about the similarity between the mother and child bond and the human and nature connection.
Now here comes foreign news partnered with international news agencies. Around 100 people were evacuated from Sudan on Sunday in a Spanish government operation. Foreign governments have been evacuating diplomats, staff and others from Sudan as rival generals in the country continue to battle with no sign of a truce that had been declared for a major Muslim holiday.
According to the Foreign Ministry, the Spanish evacuation managed to take off from Khartoum airport at 9 p.m. GMT. More than 30 of the passengers were Spanish, while another 70 were Portuguese, Italian, Polish, Irish, Mexican, Venezuelan, Colombian, and Argentinian nationals, the ministry added. Fighting between the Sudanese armed forces and the powerful paramilitary group known as the Rapid Support Forces, or RSF, has killed more than 420 people, including 264 civilians, and wounded over 3,700 people. The power struggle between the Sudanese military led by General Abdel Fattah Burhan and the RSF led by General Mohamed Hamdan Dagalo has dealt a harsh blow to Sudan's hopes for democratic transition. The rival generals came to power after a pro-democracy uprising led to the ouster of the former strongman Omar al-Bashir. In 2021, the generals joined forces to seize power in a coup. The current violence came after Burhan and Dagalo fell out over a recent international broker deal with democracy activists that was meant to incorporate the RSF into the military and eventually lead to civilian rule. Both generals, each craving international legitimacy, have accused the other of obstructing the evacuations.
French troops prepared and helped to evacuate diplomats and citizens from Sudan over the weekend, as the rival generals in the country continued to battle. Foreign governments evacuated diplomats, staff and others on Sunday as the Sudanese armed forces and the powerful paramilitary group known as the Rapid Support Forces, or RSF, carried on fighting with no sign of a truce that had been declared for a major Muslim holiday.
France and Italy said they would accommodate all their citizens who want to leave, as well as those of other countries who could not otherwise join an evacuation operation. French President Emmanuel Macron and his foreign minister were given security guarantees by both sides for the evacuation, according to defense and foreign ministry officials who spoke on condition of anonymity because they weren't authorized to talk publicly. 2 French flights took off Sunday from Khartoum to Djibouti, carrying about 200 200 people from various countries, and more were planned Monday, according to another French military official speaking anonymously under the same rules. An Italian Air Force C-130 that left Khartoum with evacuees landed Sunday night at an air base in Djibouti, Defense Ministry said. Another flight was planned for Monday. Other flights from Sudan were organized by Jordan, Spain, Germany, Greece, and the Netherlands. The power struggle between the Sudanese military led by General Abdel Fattah Burhan and the RSF led by General Mohamed Hamdan Dagalo has dealt a harsh blow to Sudan's hopes for a democratic transition. Both generals, each craving international legitimacy, have accused the other of obstructing the evacuations. Over 420 people, including 264 civilians, have been killed and over 3,700 wounded in fighting.
Please take a look at the weather forecast for the world's major cities. Well, that's all for today. Thank you for staying tuned. We'll see you next time with more news and updates. Have a nice day.